We have Dr. Nicholas Comninellis here with us in the broadcast desk. Welcome, and it's good to have you here.
Pleasure.
Go ahead, Jeff, go ahead.
We have a couple of questions that have already come in. Doctor, I want to, by the way, I do want to say you have a great presentation. You're very, very good at that. A couple of questions that have come in from some of our viewers already tonight, and that is, let's see, it looks like Angela, who's watching at m3missions.com, are there any opportunities to work under your ministry and what you're doing and the things that you're involved in to serve the underserved?
Certainly. The wonderful thing that I have enjoyed is the opportunity to meet people who have a really compassionate heart for humanity, who want to step out and do something bold. And certainly my organization, InMed, can provide especially opportunities that are integrated with education, along with the other wonderful ministries connected with M3.
And what's the easiest way to connect with you then on those things?
So start with the website.
Okay.
It's InMed, INMED.us.
And Jennifer, I assume we have links to him and all of our speakers tonight at m3missions.com too.
Yeah. We do.
Another question, Doctor. You spoke about how disaster impacts the vulnerable the most, the poor, the weak, ill, the homeless. That actually describes people that Jesus commands us to reach. Why do you think it is so challenging to get people of faith to get involved, specifically in disaster relief?
I think that people may be concerned about being overwhelmed, being stretched beyond their capacity, being asked to do things that are outside of their comfort zone. But that's part of the adventure of it all, is taking a step of faith and volunteering for either disaster relief. If you're interested in doing disaster relief, I would say start early and connect yourself with an organization so that you get the training, the qualification, the orientation, so that you're ready to deploy when that opportunity may come.
Do you think, kind of as we're sort of moving into post-pandemic times, do you think the opportunities are going to be greater or the need is going to be greater, or maybe both?
Probably both.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about disaster management is that we need to be constantly preparing and upgrading our skills so that when it does appear, we're ready to respond.
I think a lot of us who aren't really in medical missions or disaster relief, kinds of work, I think a lot of us are sometimes afraid because we may not have a particular skill set, especially for somebody like me. I'm not in the medical field, but there might be practical ways that I can help. Is that true with the work that you're doing?
Certainly, yeah, that's certainly
true. Do you need
true.
carpenters and people that can do things like that?
Right.
Just practically speaking.
I tell people the most important qualification is a willing spirit. If you come with a willing spirit, we will very likely find a good role for you.
Chuck, I think sometimes people don't get involved with disaster relief or missions in general, as far as medical missions, because they don't know outlets. They don't have any idea how to do that. That's one of the things about M3 is we give you some practical ways to organizations that are doing the work.
If there was only a conference that could help do that, right?
Exactly. But practical, organizations with practical opportunities for people to be involved.
Yeah.
All over the website.
And I want to encourage you to go to the m3missions.com website. There are so many tools and resources right there for you. Click the tabs, go through that. You will find an opportunity, I can promise you. Well, Dr. Comninellis, thank you so much. M3 supports you and your efforts as you continue to do the work that God has called you to do as well.
Nicholas, I just wanted to comment. I thought it was a brilliant presentation. There's many people in the audience that can, will agree with what your assessment was. But we see in the places that Jen and I work very often that the parents won't even name a child until they're 5 years of age because there's just a high likelihood that they won't survive. So I loved your approach to, it's not just rescuing people. It's sustainable efforts to change a community through education, through all the things that you mentioned. So I thought it was a brilliant presentation. Rich Stearns, who was president of the World Vision for a long time, I was having a conversation with him one time, and he said, the issue of poverty is rocket science. What he was saying, it's a complex, multi-layered, multifaceted problem. and we can't just be rescuing people. So I appreciate your approach to let's look at sustainable, durable efforts that can change a whole community. So beautifully done.
Yeah, appreciate that.